Gonna make it get right back on my feet. We can make love in the bed of that truck, but it wouldn't feel the same to me. All that wasted time, oh honey, I'm never gonna get it back. Brown-eyed girl with a new tattoo and a brand new heart attack. I got $17 in my back pocket and nowhere else to be. I can make it plumb to the end of the county if I put it in gasoline. You got 17 guys knocking on your door and don't give a second thought to me. I can be on the road just as soon as someone has to find my keys. Turn blue, my skin goes pale. I was shaking like a leaf on a tree. 20 whole years on God's green earth, and I never ever felt more free. I don't know what to do, I'm getting so tired of this losing streak. Blows my mind that a small town girl will make a grown man feel so weak. I got $17 in my back pocket and nowhere else to be. I can make it plumb to the end of the county if I put it in gasoline. You got 17 guys knocking on your door and don't give a second thought to me. I can be on the road just as soon as someone has to find my key. Pocket and nowhere else to be. I can make it plumb to the end of the county if I put it in gasoline. You got 17 guys knocking on your door and don't give a second thought to me. I can be on the road just as soon as someone has to find my key. I can be on the road just as soon as someone has to find my key.
Yes, sir. Happy Friday, everybody. What is going on? Welcome to Glick's House of Music. You know, we're going to try to get your Friday started. We're going to get your weekend started off with a little something. Hopefully you guys got you a few cold beverages of your choice, maybe. Sit back, ready to chill out. We got a cool guest on the show tonight, as always. But before we get to all of that, let me get to the business side of it real quick. If you're not already, go ahead and check out the Nonsensical Network. You know we're across the board on all the social medias, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. You can also join us live Monday through Sunday. We got a show for everybody on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. And you can listen to us any place, anytime, wherever you listen to podcasts at. Yes, we are on all the major platforms, so we're not hard to find. Simply just put in the Nonsensical Network or you can let your fingers type in bio.link/nonsensical network. That's going to have all those links there for you. Not only can you watch this show, but you can watch the rest of the shows. Mondays, Men Caring for Men's Mental Health Show. Tuesdays is Jeff's Garage. If it's got an engine and it fits in a garage, they're going to talk about it. Wednesday nights is What the Fuck News. If it's in the news and it makes you say, what the fuck? We're definitely going to be talking about it. Thursday nights is Talking Shit. They're doing interviews with the people in the entertainment world, actors and comedians and whatnot. Those guys are always up to some shit. Thursday nights is Talking Shit. I already said that. Friday nights is this here show right here. Glick's House of Music. You know me. I'm hanging out with the musicians, chit-chatting with them, getting to know them a little bit better, and introducing you guys to hopefully some artists you haven't heard before, and maybe they're going to be new favorites. Saturday nights is Nonsensical Nonsense, the foundation of the network, unhinged, unapologetic, comedy-based. We hang out, we have fun, but we also do something, well, it's a little crazy. We open the doors to the asylum and we let the inmates take over. We call it the Open Door Challenge. Basically, we drop the link. If you guys want to come in, we ask one simple thing. Put your pecker away. Well, actually, we ask two. Put your pecker away and turn your camera on. But everybody and anybody is welcome to join us on Saturday nights. And we do have a new show coming very soon on Sundays. All I can tell you is it's a sports show. I've been sworn to confidentiality. I'm not allowed to say anything more, but nonetheless, let's get to the point of why we're here tonight. That song you guys heard at the beginning of the show was by a very talented young man by the name of Mr. John Thomas Moore. Calling him Mr. and he's half my age. But we're gonna go ahead and bring him up. John, what's going on with you, brother?
Oh, not much at all. Just chilling. Come back home after work. Figured I'd, hop on the internet a little bit, get on the interwebs.
Get on the interwebs. All the way from the hollers of Kentucky. Well, I don't know if you're in the hollers, but all of Kentucky is the hollers.
Yeah. But by most people's standards, yeah.
Yeah. I say that, and I'm from Podunk ass, Ohio. Like I have any room to talk.
I like Ohio.
I mean, it's all right, I guess. If you're from here, you might think differently. But I think a lot of people feel that way about where they're from. Not everybody likes where they're from, but some people love it. I don't know why people love Ohio, but there are those that do. But nonetheless, I do want to say thank you, and I appreciate you taking some time out of your evening to come hang out with me here on the show.
I appreciate you.
What up, Benji? I got the Chatters box chirping away there. Yep. Oh yeah. Jarvis in the house. What's up, buddy? What's up, Chatters box? First and foremost, a little birdie told me you just celebrated your 22nd birthday. So happy birthday to you. Happy belated birthday, man.
I appreciate it.
Basically, at this point, a full-fledged adult.
Yeah. All the fun birthdays are gone. Now it's just like,
yeah.
I'm 1 year past 21,
Yeah, as a guy who's staring down the barrel of 43, I'm like, I guess the next one's 50. I guess that's cool if I make it to half a century. But So one of the first things I want to ask you, because you are a younger cat, how long have you been doing music? How long have you been performing on stage? I guess you could say.
Well, if you count church, the first time I played in church, I was about 15, which I sang in church before that, but that was always just like me going up with the choir.
Yeah.
But really, the first time that I performed one of my own songs was at a little pizza parlor place here in my hometown when I was 17, and I fell in love with it. I got a guitar for my birthday when I turned 12, and when I was about 15, this girl that I was dating at the time dumped me, and so I didn't have anything to do after school anymore. So that's when I learned to play and started to write songs and stuff.
That ain't one of the most country music things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
I love country. I'm a country guy, man. I'm a country and rock guy. I love country music, but I was like, well, girlfriend dumped me, so I learned to play guitar, and I already had this kick-ass voice, so I showed her who's
Oh, my voice was still cracking pretty heavy at that point in time. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Do you? I know obviously you write a lot of your own stuff.
Mhm.
Before you started writing, were you just doing a lot of covers and stuff like that?
Yeah. So whenever I first started, like, I always loved country music. But I wanted to impress my dad. My dad was always a rocker, but like an old school rocker. So I learned like the first two songs I learned were "Take It Easy" by the Eagles and
Nice.
"Maggie May" by Rod Stewart. A lot of that type of stuff, John Cougar, you know.
Yeah.
And I still love doing those covers. You know what I mean? But
That's
and those songs that I learned originally are really huge influences on like the stuff that I write now. You know, I still love all that shit. You know.
I was going to ask you what your influences were, and I could see that older music now. I guess it's the classics. You know, when I was growing up, it was only a few years old. It wasn't like the Eagles stuff wasn't super old, but it was still old. You know, it was my parents' music, and I grew up listening to all that. You know, listening to the Eagles and Zeppelin and Floyd, and my grandparents loved Alabama and like Conway Twitty and
Oh,
you know
yeah.
guys like that. You know, I grew up listening to all that stuff, but you know, it's it's funny because I always want to ask people their inspiration, who they, the music that inspires them, and just those couple names that you listed, you can kind of hear that in your music. You see that, um, and, and like I tell everybody, I become a fan. I'm fortunate enough that the old algorithm is working in my favor, and putting super talented artists in front of my eyeballs, and allowing my ear holes to hear them on Instagram. And then I go and be an internet creep, and I'm like, oh, do they got a YouTube channel? Do they got a Spotify? What's on their Facebook? What else are they doing? I want to hear more music by them. I don't want to hear the 60-second clip that we're allowed to hear on Instagram. And I become a fan, and I listen to the music. And I was actually listening to one of your songs this morning on my way into work because I do really like it. And I'll play it here in a little bit later. But Lying in My Head. That's a really good
Wow.
song.
Well, thank you.
I was listening to that and I was like, damn, this kid is freaking talented. And, and I'm double your age. I was like, God, I wish I had like just like just a smidge of that talent. Like,
Well, I'm
you
flattered.
find
I
it?
really appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm just an asshole that talks into a microphone. That's about the extent of my talent. Do you find it hard to write a new song, or is it or is your music based off of something that's happened to you in real life? I know a lot of songwriters go back to past things that have happened. Do you do a lot of that, or is it just like you're sitting at the house drinking a couple beers with a couple of your buddies, and all of a sudden you're like, I got an idea?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, so for songs start for me, it's usually kind of like what you were just saying. It's like Paul McCartney said this thing about how like whenever you have something come to you, you got to just get it recorded somehow, you know. And so a lot of the time, it's just like usually the most inconvenient time possible. Like I'm at work or something, and then
Yeah.
like I get a little ditty or a line or something, and I usually throw it into my voice memos. And the musical part, that's usually all just like, you know, natural. But like the thinking about lyrics and stuff, like you definitely have to draw, or I have to draw from stuff that's happened, or even just shit that I think's cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice. I hate when that happens when you're at work, and it'll happen. I'll be like, oh, I got an idea for the show, and I'm at work, and it's like, where can I write it down at? So then, like, one of the guys my original co-host who started the shows and my co-creator with the network, I'll just be like, you can ignore this message. I just need to spit this out, and I'll just say whatever my idea was, and he'll be like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I just need it somewhere so that I don't forget it. You know, when I get a second, and I just send him like a voice note on Snapchat or something.
Yeah. I'll be like running into the porta potty at the job site and just like humming into my fucking voice memos, hoping nobody hears me and stuff like that. I do that all the time.
Who's that? Who let the meth head on the job site that's singing in the porta?
Exactly. Yeah, I look like a tweaker.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. One of those moments when you look and sound like a tweaker might be that one song that just skyrockets, man. You never
Oh
know
yeah.
when it's gonna happen. Um,
Oh, that's the hope.
that's really cool though. Um, when was it? You said, like you said, you were like, man, I'm singing in church. You were singing in the choir. When was it that you realized that you're like, I think I want to be a musician. I want to chase this crazy dream that of being a singer songwriter.
Um, so this is gonna sound strange. When I was I was probably around 15 or so. I saw a documentary. Well, there's two things all around the same time. So around that time, first, it was when Tyler Childers was getting big, and that's the standard. Like, dude from Kentucky loved Tyler Childers when he was a kid, so he became a country musician. Like, that's everybody. But I
Yeah,
saw him and John Prine and Jason Isbell, not live. I wasn't there, but I saw on TV. They were on Austin City Limits, and it was like it changed my life watching that. And
wow,
that was like, well, I was seeing Tyler Childers, and like I'd already been listening to some Sturgill Simpson and stuff, and it was like you can do this country thing and not seem like a twat. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the
yeah,
the the pop country,
yeah,
the plug-in. I I know a lot of people like Luke Bryan, but I call him country catfish
yes,
because
yeah, oh yeah,
he literally every song, it sounds the same. It sounds like he's playing the same four chords in every song, but it's legal. It's literally like plug and play. Oh, I got to put truck. Oh, I got to put girl. Oh, I got
yes,
to put beer. I got to put drinking. Oh, I got to put bonfire. It's just like, oh, what happened to
it's cringy.
the good old days, you know? And
It's
when
cringy. Yeah.
and now we're starting to see that resurgent with artists like you said, Tyler Childers, Jelly Roll, just absolutely taking over the entire world. You can't really. I don't know if he's a country singer, a rock singer, or a rapper. I don't know what genre he fits into, but you're starting to see that resurgence and that reemergence of storytellers when they write songs. It's
Mm-hmm.
them and maybe two or three other people. It's not an army of producers and songwriters and musicians that are putting together something to get on the radio that's going to be poppy and everybody's going to like. And I think that's the other cool thing, with getting to talk with getting to talk with like people like you and other artists is that you guys are in that up and coming game and you guys are are influenced by that older generation and a lot of you guys do write not only to be relatable, you want people to feel your music, and I'm a huge music guy. I can't carry a tune in bucket, and I've owned a guitar for about probably close to 20 years, and I can't play a single string on the damn thing. It just sits here and holds hats at this moment.
Yeah, I feel you.
but but we're getting to see it, and if people pay attention to their local scene and these up and coming artists, whether they're playing at a pizzeria or a farmer's market or a fair or something like that, there's a lot of really good talent there. Not only that, but really good songwriters who are writing songs that mean something. That we've all been through a broken heart. We've all been through getting fired at work, but I don't need the plug and play stuff. I want somebody who's actually felt it, and when I listen to their music, I can feel it in my soul. But like I said, I've been very fortunate. I with the guests that I've had so far, including yourself, you guys are super talented, man. And I find myself listening to your guys' music more than I'm listening to the big names anymore. If I want to, and I don't listen to a lot of music. I listen to talk radio. I'm not old. I don't listen to NPR. It's I listen to a talk radio station out of Tampa, and they do stuff like we do here on the network. They have fun. It's just a group of people in a room hanging out, chit chatting, talking. They interviews, stuff like that. But And then if I'm not listening to them, I'm listening to another podcast. I don't listen to a lot of music anymore just because new music. Man, I really sound like a curmudgeon old man. New music is not good.
Yeah, it's few and far between. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like you'll get, like you said, Tyler. You'll get Tyler or Jelly, or I like Chase Matthews. He's pretty cool. I like a few of his songs. Um, I like Hardy. I'm a little bit over Morgan Wallen at this point, but
Yeah.
When Morgan Wallen first was getting big, I liked him. But yeah, no,
Super
I'm listening.
talented guy. He's super talented. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of his music, but he's super fucking talented. Like,
Oh, he's super talented. You can't deny
yeah,
his talent at all.
yeah.
But no, like I said, I'm finding myself. Like I said, I'm driving in this morning, and the playlist was just playing, and your song popped up. I was like, oh, wow. I think I know who this is. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna have him on the show tonight.
Hell yeah.
That kind of like half asleep. You know what it's like. You're driving into work, ass crack of dawn.
Oh yeah.
And not quite awake, just trying to get ready for the day. Thankfully, it was Friday.
Yeah.
But so where you're at down there in Kentucky, have you had or have you traveled? Have you got the opportunity to travel at all to do a lot of gigs? Are you starting to get a lot of live shows, or have you done a lot of live shows?
Well, I've had the opportunity to travel a few times. One of the times I went to North Carolina and did a show. I did one in West Virginia, Ohio. I've done a couple in Ohio, and one in Indiana actually. But they've mostly all been in Kentucky, and the ones that haven't been are around Kentucky, and it's usually just people that I know somebody. But yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to break out of that, and I love like the Lexington scene and stuff. Lexington has a really cool scene.
I was just saying, doesn't Lexington have a pretty good music scene?
Oh
I've
yeah,
been down there a few times, and I thought they had a pretty cool music scene. I've seen a couple live gigs. Don't ask me the name of the bars because I can't tell you. I don't remember.
yeah.
But I've seen some really cool shows at a couple bars down there before. And it seemed like talking to the locals, they're like, if you get down this way, you got to go here. You got to see this person. You got to, it seems like there's a really good music scene down there.
Oh yeah. And Lexington is a really great city to like be starting out as a young artist in, because everybody there, like the people there that want to see live music, they're extremely welcoming, especially to young artists. Like everybody in Lexington wants to be the person that knew about the popular guy before they were popular. You know what I mean? So like, not necessarily me, but like any artist that you see, it's like everybody is really supportive and wants to be a part of it. And that's really cool, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm just getting to the point where I can do gigs where like it's an hour of me playing original stuff, and that's like that's the most gratifying thing ever, because like for really like 3 years now I've been doing cover gigs with my band, and like they're fun and all, and college bars are always going to be fun for a multitude of reasons, but
yeah, I was gonna say you're at that prime age, man. You're at that perfect age to perform at the college bars. There's a lot of perks and benefits. I remember being in my early 20s.
Oh, yeah.
Not a lot of it. I remember some stuff from my early 20s.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning. You know what I mean?
Things like that, and it don't get any better when you get older. I'm just gonna let you know. And it has nothing to do with drinking either. It's just the fact that I blame it a lot. I've taken a lot of shots to the head. Sports and I was a little bit of a roughneck when I was younger, so I've taken a lot of shots to the head. My memory's not what it used to be, but nonetheless, in my early 20s, most of those memories that I've forgotten was because of a little thing called alcohol.
Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. Alcohol is alcohol is the most interesting drug that I've found so far. It definitely
Yeah,
makes a lot of shit happen, you know.
it's
Yeah,
the only drug I've ever really partaken in and enjoyed, and I'll
yeah,
probably enjoy that right all the way down and right all the way to my grave at the end
yeah.
of the day.
Me too. Me too.
You know, as I can't remember who sings it right off the top of my head, but there was a lot of weekends where I wake up in the back of my truck just going, "Sure is Monday," yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't that the truth? Yeah,
yeah, I got to drag my ass back into work, still hungover from Friday night, and it's just like, how are you hungover from Friday? Well, Friday night was a 3-day adventure, so.
yeah, yeah. Those falling asleep at 4 and waking up for work at 6.
Mm.
Those take a toll too. You know what I mean?
I can't do that shit anymore, man. I'm too old for that. Enjoy it while it lasts, man. I remember those days, just party all night long, and then get up and be like, oh, gonna go to McDonald's, grab breakfast, and go to work, and then I was good
Yeah,
to go. You sweat all
yeah,
that alcohol out all day long, and you smell like a freaking brewery. Yeah, good times right
yeah.
there.
Yeah. It takes its toll though. You know. Yeah.
No,
I'm
it
already getting sick of it. You know.
Well, and we go through phases, man. Like,
Yeah.
when I was younger, it would be like party hard, party hard, party hard, and then it was like I just need a break. And then on the weekends, I would find other things to do, like go to the beach if it was warm, or um, go for drives, jump on my motorcycle, whatever the case may be, do something. So I wasn't in the bars or I wasn't partying, but take that little break and hit that reset button. And then a couple weeks later, it's like, hey, look, what are you doing? It's Friday night. I don't know. Where are we
Yeah.
going to?
Yeah.
Off we go. Back
Yeah.
down the road, Party Express. Enjoy, like I said, enjoy it while it lasts. Enjoy it while you're young. Just be careful. Don't do dumb
Mm,
shit. A lot of
mm.
don't do anything too stupid to jeopardize yourself or anybody else. Um, but what was that transition like for you from basically only doing covers to now you could do an hour show of your own music, all your own original stuff? What's that experience like? What's for you?
Um, it it's the scariest and most gratifying thing that I've ever experienced in my entire life. Because it's with covers, like there's always there's the fear of rejection, just like that you don't have the ability or whatever. But like original songs, I know this is stereotypical, but I mean, you put your blood, sweat, and tears and heart into them. You know what I mean? So like to see like songs of mine that like I've performed live and been like, okay, I didn't hit home. I need to work on that. And
Mhm.
but like the being able to play a song that's mine, and like even if it's just even if there's only a few people there, local people that like know it and enjoy it, and like people ask me about it later on, like they legitimately enjoyed it. That's it's all I've ever wanted. You know what I mean? It's it's the best thing ever, and I'm extremely lucky. Like even I like to think this is the beginning of it for me. That it's gonna get a lot more serious, but like even now, it's the most gratifying thing that I've found. It's terrifying, to put yourself out there like that. But I mean, I'm sure you get that too, doing what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You're not only that, but when you're doing a cover song, you almost I can only imagine that when you're doing a cover song, you have to live up to the original artist in some ways.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
You can
mm-hmm.
take your own, you can add your own little stuff to it, but at the same time, you still almost have to live up to that original artist. So yeah, I can see where both are kind of terrifying at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then when you start releasing your own, you start doing sets with your original stuff. Did you start mixing stuff in and like you do a couple covers, do one of your originals and whatnot, or did you just go full on head first? Like, hey, yeah, I'm John Thomas, and these are all my songs. I hope you guys
Yeah.
like them.
Well, so really, like beginning, the only gigs that I could find, and like really most of the time still, the only gigs I can find are covers or are cover gigs, at least for the most part. Which
Mhm.
you find gigs that want original songs every once in a while, but it's usually like for every 5-6 covers that I do, I can do one original and get away with it. You know what I mean? That's I kind of enjoy that because early on, especially, but still now, like that's a good way to like you can take a chance on an original song, and if it doesn't go over well, you can say, well, here's fucking Jumpin' Jack Flash, and then everybody's like back in, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You do one of your
Yeah.
songs, and the crowd's like, huh? Yes, it's,
Exactly.
yeah, then you
Yeah,
go,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
guess it's time to go. This is what we didn't come here for this. Thanks a lot, John
Exactly.
Thomas.
Yeah. Well, college bars are really bad about that. You know what I mean? Like, cause I get it too. Like, if it's fucking 1 a.m. and I'm thrashed, like I don't necessarily want to listen to some dude try to put himself out there. Like, I'm here to listen to fucking Leonard Skinner. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, so I get it. You know.
you got some drunk asshole at the college bar screaming out Freebird all night, and you're
Oh,
like, fine, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll give you a Freebird, all right?
yeah, exactly. Oh, I feel you. I've been there a lot. That gets old.
Yeah, I used to work in bars. I hated that guy, man. I hated that guy with a passion. Every time we had an artist come in, and not necessarily Freebird guy, just guy screaming from the crowd, like, stop yelling your fucking requests. They're not going to do it, all right? And if the off chance that they do, cool, but stop it. You're annoying.
Yeah.
So do you have are you planning, or is there works? Are you working on an actual album, or is that down the road a little bit farther away from where you're at right now, to where you want to put out an actual album of your own music?
So I do have something in the works. So a little bit of backstory here. I had a full band put together that I played with for over a year. Things were going really strong. Dude that I play with that plays lead guitar, he's kind of been like my partner in this music thing really since we were basically kids. So he found out that his old lady was pregnant, and now he's he's had to dedicate himself to that, and that's wonderful. You know what I mean? So I've
Yeah.
I love him and I don't blame him for it, but it's kind of been a setback in like the recording aspect because I'm trying to find somebody to fill those shoes in a way. But so there's a dude in Lexington with a studio, and we've done a bunch of recordings of just drums and rhythm guitar and vocals of my songs. And right now we're in the process of finding musicians to spice things up a little bit and do the crazy guitar solos and stuff. But there's something in the works. I don't really know a time frame, but hopefully it's this year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I just want to make something happen. Damn it! Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, do you put a lot of the as an old school guy, man, as a rock guy, even some of the older country stuff, man, and some of the new stuff. Do you put a lot of the crazy guitar solos or guitar with your what you grew up listening to? Do you put a lot of that into your music, where you want to have somebody just break out and do a 15-second crazy guitar solo or something like that?
Absolutely. I mean, it depends on what song it is for sure. Like every song has a different vibe, and I love old string band stuff too, like mandolins and violin, banjo,
Oh yeah.
But I love that. Like the most fun. This is another thing I was going to say too. So you asked me like when I realized I wanted to be a musician. The other thing I was going to say is I watched a video of it's from the documentary about Kings of Leon, Talahena Sky. And there's a scene in it where they're performing at Bonnaroo in 2004, and the entire band just like they explode. It's the coolest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. Seen a band do, and that inspired me to put together a band that I can, like the whole jam thing where you lose yourself in the music, and like that. That's what I love about like having a band is, stepping back. Like I'm the singer. I'm not that great of a front man, but like stepping back and like watching somebody else, put their everything into it the same way that I am. Like that's probably the most fun part about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, those old jam sessions are cool, especially when you go to a live concert and a band just goes into a 5 minute jam session and the singer just kind of just steps back and lets everybody kind of do their thing, man. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of give everybody the spotlight because
Yeah.
9 times out of 10 the spotlight is always it's always on the singer, but it's like singer, guitar player, maybe the drummer, the bass player don't get a lot of love, but it's really cool when you go to a live concert and they're just like getting into coming out of a song and just go into a little jam session and let everybody kind of have their moment to shine. It's funny. You're not much of a front man. I was going to ask you about that. Are you the energetic type, or are you just kind of, I'm just going to sing my songs and do my thing guy?
I'm somewhere in between. I'm not very energetic with like the talking aspect. I'm not a big like, hey everybody, what the fuck is up? I'm not one of those guys really. I'm more of like this is my name, this is my band, and then like where I have fun and where I do the frontman thing is like in the song and like just feeling the music and you know like with the guitar solos and stuff, like stepping back and like that's when I don't have to worry about singing and I can let the whole thing just go through my body and like I'll catch myself doing this, you know what I mean, while I'm playing, like jumping up and down and
You don't
stuff,
even realize it.
Yeah,
bebopping like, around this.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like I lose myself in it, and that's I love doing that, and that's the part that I feel like people look at me like a front man, I guess, like because I mean, even though I don't shake my hips like Elvis or nothing, but that's when I move around,
Yeah, and you're still young. You're still young. You're still new to you're still new to the game. You're new to the music thing. So that might come in time. 5 years down the road, you might be up there shaking your hips like
yeah, I might
having all the girls screaming and wooing in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never know. I being older, I was a fan of Sting with Aaron Lewis, and the first time I seen him, I was like, man, I don't know if I can be a fan anymore because I love their music, but Aaron Lewis, literally the entire time they were on stage, he just sang into the mic like this and didn't look at the crowd. And it was just, and then years later, he puts out a country album, and you realize the reason why he was like that, he was miserable. He got sucked into a deal with a record label. They made him change who he was. He wanted to do country music. They forced him to portray an image that wasn't him and everything. And he was just miserable at that time, even though they were fucking massive. And then I seen it a couple of years ago at Louisville at Louder Than Life. I seen Stain there.
Oh, wow.
And he was like a whole nother guy, man. He was all over the stage. He was having a good time. He was having fun. It was like, holy shit. Like my fandom was rejuvenated getting to see this new personality, almost 180 version of Aaron Lewis, and understanding, in the early 2000s when Stain blew up, he was miserable. And then he did his country album, a couple country albums, did his thing, got back together with Stain, and he's happy. He's in his he's where he wanted to be. So he was like a different person. It was like, wow, they put on a good show now, 20 years later, whatever the case may be. But yeah, like I said, that's something that'll probably come in time. You're still new. You're still, like you said, I can get up there and sing all day long. However, the talking aspect is not really your cup of tea.
Yeah,
that might come in time.
Yeah, it might, and I don't think I'm terrible at it necessarily. It's usually it's just like I don't really know what to say. Like my job is to play the music. You know what I mean? And it might be different if you're playing in front of 50,000 people that know who you are. Yeah,
exactly. You get all that energy. You start to feel that energy from the crowd. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like I was telling you pre-show. It's funny, I do these shows, and I'm live several hours a week, multiple days a week. I'm doing these shows, but I can't get up in front of public and talk for speak, man, or talk for shit. I get nervous, I get antsy, I get anxious, I start stuttering. It's weird. And even before I started doing the podcast, I was doing live streaming, and I have some friends down in Tampa that are all podcasters and stuff like that, and went through a divorce and everything. And my buddies were like, "Dude, you need to come to Tampa for a week. You know, you need to get away from everything back home. We're gonna have fun. We'll get you on all of our shows, and everybody." And the first night I was there, I got on a podcast, no cameras, nothing, and I'm already used to doing live streaming with the camera in front of my face and talking to God knows how many people on a weekly basis. They put a microphone in front of my face for that first podcast, and I fucking froze. They're like, "Okay, we'll come back to Glick." And they were doing their thing, and then we took a break. And they're like, "Glick, what's wrong?" I said, "I don't know. I'm nervous as hell." And they're like, "Nobody can see you though. You're just talking." And I was like, "I don't know." But by the second show, I started to loosen up, and by the end of the week, man, I was just completely dominating the rest of the shows I was on, and going to different venues and seeing some of the musicians down there that I enjoyed from the shows, from seeing them on there, and that I'd befriended online, and different comedians. It was like, all right, I'm here. I'm now I'm starting to feel it. But those first couple shows, man, I was an absolute wreck. I'm like, and then as soon as the mics would go off, I'm like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
what the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, man. This is easy.
Yeah. Easier said than done, I'm sure.
Yeah. What's up, Thomas?
What's up, Thomas?
Yeah, so it's weird how as a performer, you just let me sing my songs. Somebody else can talk, or me. It puts you in front of 4 people and you're gonna freeze. It's like, my bad. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, I one thing I do enjoy is the opportunity to like a song that's more of a singer-songwriter type song, especially, and even like the songs that turn into big rock and roll explosions when I do them with a group. Like when I'm doing it by myself and it's more of like an intimate setting, I do enjoy like getting to give the background of a song and explain like what I was going through at the time that I wrote it, or even if not that, like what it means to me now, like having had the song for a while, like getting to give people my perspective of that, I enjoy that.
That's really cool when your artists are given that opportunity to kind of sit down and be like, this is what I was going through when I wrote this song. I enjoy that too. As a guy who loves music, and I love the storytellers, and I love songs that tell a story. Yes, Jarvis. I'm your only Sasquatch, so by default. Jarvis is one of my co-hosts, and has his own show coming up here very soon.
Oh, cool.
So they all call me a Sasquatch. They say I look like a Sasquatch.
Oh, I got you.
Apparently, I'm not even that big. I'm 6'2", like 300 pounds. I'm not even that big of. I mean, I'm a big guy, but I'm not like massively tall. I'm only 6'2", but nonetheless. Speaking of the singer-songwriter, I do want to play one of your songs here real quick, real quick-ish. But I want to ask you. I brought it up earlier. Well, I played it earlier. 17. I like that song. Where did that come from? And that's a little bit old. That's a little bit of an older song, isn't it? That's a couple years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that song, well, the riff from it came from just sitting around with my buddy Caleb that I talked about earlier, and I just kind of did that little intro thing, and he was like, "That was cool." But when I sat down to write it, so the girl that I'm actually still dating now, her name's Morgan. I love her to death. But so I had come out of a really shitty relationship, and I had just kind of started to become infatuated with her. but she was playing Hard to Get, as girls do. And
Yeah.
it's kind of the chorus is like a self-loathing type of thing. It was just kind of like, feeling like you don't belong, and feeling like you're not good enough for somebody, I guess. But at the same time, being in love with that person and not knowing how to enunciate it. You know what I mean?
Well, using the big words, man. Somebody's been reading this dictionary. I do want to take a couple minutes. I do want to play one of your songs here, and I kind of talked about it earlier because it popped up, and I do like this song. Lying in My Head. Just background on that one, for if you don't mind.
So the best way to put it is so my family and my girlfriend's family, mine probably more so than hers in like a traditional aspect. So we're from the Bible Belt, very traditional. Even people who don't go to church act like they do around here. You know what I mean? So
I lived out in South Carolina for about a decade, and it's part of that Bible Belt. You're like, what are you doing? I seen you Saturday night. I know better.
Exactly. Yeah. It's kind of wanting to be with somebody like all the time, but like you can't. I couldn't spend the night with her. Like every night, I was having to go home and be not separated because you're together during the day, but it's kind of like a frustrated. Like I finally found something that makes me happy, but I have to, be away just to keep up appearances in a lot of ways, if nothing else. Like which I think there is beauty in that, like having to hold off on the, sleeping in the same bed and stuff until you're married. Like there's definitely beauty in that. There's a reason that's a tradition, but it's frustrating, especially when you're a kid. You know what I mean?
When you're a young men have needs.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and those can overpower a lot of things.
So basically, this song came about out of sexual frustration, is what we're
Pretty
saying.
much. I'd say probably 95% of all music that's come out since Elvis has been because of somebody's sexual frustration in some way.
I can absolutely see that, or somebody who is kind of living vicariously through their music. They don't want to necessarily do the things that they want to try them, but they're hesitant. So instead, they write songs about it. Rihanna had that song, "Whips and Chains Excite Me," and it's just like, but do they really? Are you going to listen? Take a whip to you, Rihanna. I mean, she might. I don't know, but I'm just saying, like, it allows you to kind of say the things that you want to say, and possibly maybe even venture into without actually having to do those things. So it's a little bit of an outlet.
It's definitely an outlet, and like sometimes the case, more desire. Sometimes the case can be that not necessarily with that song, but with some songs of mine, like there's things that I want to be able to tell people about, but like the area I'm from, and like there's certain stuff that I can't say on a platform that my grandmother's going to hear it. You know what I mean? So to be able to put things into music through like metaphor, it's it's a way to express yourself and tell the truth when you can't really, like, just by saying it. But in song, you got a lot more leeway. You know what I mean? You can get away with it. Like you can, like, you have 100% deniability. It's like it rhymes. You know what I mean? Like,
it just rhymes. It fit. It fit. You know what I mean?
No, you got deniability.
Exactly. I wish I had that on on some of my podcasts. No, it just I didn't mean it. It just I was going with the flow.
yeah.
But now I want to take a few minutes and I want to play "Lying in My Head" here real quick for the for the audience, give them a little taste of your music and your style and what you're doing. If you need to get a drink, take a potty break, whatever you need to do.
That's exactly what I was about to ask. I'm gonna do that.
Yep, go ahead.
I'm on the outside and I'm patiently waiting, and I found myself again. I found a light to come and guide me through the darkness of it all. And girl, tell me, where the hell have you been? Well, lately this poor heart of mine won't let me fall asleep. Laying here without you, babe, might be the end of me. I don't ever wanna go on without you. Tell me everything works out in the end. I don't ever wanna drive home without you. Yeah, but now I'm in my bed, lying in my head. I spent a lifetime here just waiting on the summertime to come around and melt my blues away. And I finally found someone to hold me through the winter time and tell me that everything's gonna be okay. Well, lately this poor heart of mine been bearing quite a load. Laying here without you, babe, I'm dying from the cold. I don't ever
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
John Thomas Moore. He's
We're back.
lying in his head. Lying in my
Yeah.
head. Welcome back to Glick's House of Music, everybody. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the show so far. Feel free to check out the social medias. You guys know where it's at. We are everywhere, all at the Nonsensical Network or bio.link/Nonsensical Network. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a listen, and give us a share if you'd be so kind. Welcome back. I like that song, man. That is a really good song, and it even a little bit, it makes it even a little bit better knowing the background. You know what I mean?
Yes.
where that
Yeah.
kind of came from. But I do
Well,
enjoy
thank
that.
you.
I love when people know that I'm live doing a show and then send me a notification. They're like, "Hey, watch this live before it ends." You know why? I can't. Let me stop my show and pull up their broadcast. um, when you were younger and first starting to get gigs, was it before you turned before you turned 21? Was it hard for you to lock down gigs? I'm assuming you couldn't get into they wouldn't let you into the bars, or would they let you do gigs in the bar?
Local places, like places in my hometown, they would. But I really couldn't break out of playing. Like I could play places in Lexington, but it would be like restaurants and stuff. I couldn't really do like the gigs that I wanted to do, like honky tonk style gigs. I couldn't do those until I turned 21. So I really only had a year of that type of experience, like at least full scale. You know what I mean? And even still, they look at me and they're like, "Dude, you're fucking 16." Like,
Yeah. How old are you?
but
22.
I got to show my ID a lot of the time. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Homie, you look 12. Stop it.
I know. Oh, believe me, everywhere I go. But everybody tells me that I'll be grateful for the whole looking young thing whenever I get older.
I'm telling you, hold on to that for as long as you possibly can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that old age kicks in. You start getting a little bit of gray in your hair. You start getting a little. If you grow a beard, you start getting a little gray in your beard, and then you hand some little girl at the gas station your ID, and she goes, "Oh my God, you were born in the 1900s," and it's serious right now.
I'm
Wasn't
already
that
starting to
long
get a little
ago?
aches and pains. I'm already starting to get little aches and pains all the time. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't even. Don't even want to hear it.
I feel you.
I blew my back out almost 3 weeks ago, and I'm still limping around, going, "Oh God, I want my back stop hurting." Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
don't want to hear. Oh, 22. Oh, poor thing. You poor baby.
Yeah. And sometimes I smash my finger with a hammer or something. You know, that's I'll complain about that for a week if you let me.
Yeah. Anymore, I've reached a point like I've been doing this. You and I are kind of in the same line of business. We're both in the trades business, construction business, so to say.
Yeah.
Smashed my fingers so many times with hammers or this, that, or the other thing, and it's at the point now where it's like, fuck, and then I'm good.
Yeah. 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 You got to get that little bit of anger at the world out for a second.
Yeah. You let out one fuck and then you just go about your business. Sometimes you might cut yourself and you just grab the roll of duct tape and just maybe a paper towel or something, and duct tape and paper towel. I'll get this later. I'll clean it up later on.
Yeah, that's manhood right there. Just fucking covering up a big gash with duct tape and saying I don't have time for this.
Yep. Oh yeah. I've been there more times than I'd like to admit at the end of the day, but I'm also at my age now, I'm also a big baby to where at the point where as soon as I can take a break and be like, all right, I gotta go, and then I'm getting in the first aid kit and I'm cleaning it and putting some on it and putting proper bandages on it. I'm like, okay, I'm good. I can go back to work now.
Yeah, like the whole throwing dirt on it thing, like that works for a little while, and then like you start like it's got pus coming out of it and you got streaks and shit, and you're like, damn, I don't want to lose my arm. I gotta take an antibiotic now and get sunburned.
Your arms all purple and black and blue, and it's just like I don't know if this is good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my younger days, I was quick to just be like, fuck it. Here's an old dirty shirt and some duct tape. Just wrap the cut in that.
Yeah.
And go back to work. Now it's like,
yeah,
take a break.
Yeah, you get home and spray rubbing alcohol on it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. All about keeping the wound clean, if you will. I'm all about that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a big baby. Deal with it.
Yeah,
I
me
imagine
too.
somebody. If it doesn't happen in the chatters box tonight, it'll happen tomorrow night on the show. Somebody's going to call me a pussy and be like, "Shut up!" All right. Well, I'm a big baby. I know. All right. I might look like a big scary Sasquatch, but actuality, I'm a big old baby.
Yeah, I am sometimes. I've gotten my ass handed to me a couple of times and sat around bitching about it for a week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all do. We all do. It's just when you're younger, like you are, there's this thing that's called pride, and it's a real son of a bitch. But as you get older,
Mm-hmm.
it's a little, it's a little bit easier to swallow as you get older, and just be like, whatever. Call me what you want to call me. It's like, shut up, Travis. It's like, when I was younger, I was quick to not back down from a fight. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm like, let me see if I can talk my way out of this. Maybe I can buy the guy a beer. And it's not because I'm a pussy. It's just I'm a little bit older, and it takes a lot longer to recover from things than it used to. So, when you get a little bit older, it's easier to swallow that pride down and be like, all right, I cut my hand. I'm gonna go clean it up and put an actual Band-Aid on it. Leave me alone.
Yeah, I've as I've started like hanging out with a lot more people in like alcohol induced situations. You know what I mean? I'm when I'm sober, I can easily just take the high road and be like, okay, I weigh 140 fucking pounds. And I'm like 5'8". Like, I need to relax. But alcohol definitely makes you think you're a badass sometimes.
Yeah,
So
alcohol,
that's
you get to feeling like you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, man. You can take on the world. It's like, hey,
absolutely.
you're still only 140 pounds and 5 foot something tall. Calm down.
Yeah. You gotta. It's good to learn your lessons while you're doing it.
Yeah, when you're younger, take those lessons and learn them when you're younger. Don't do it when you get older.
Yeah.
I tell my oldest daughter.
Yeah.
I tell my oldest daughter that all the time. She just turned 19 and she's got a big old mouth on her. And I'm like, you realize you're writing checks that your ass can't cash. I'll beat her ass. I'm like, you ain't never been in a fight in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
You go beat nobody's ass. Calm down.
Yeah. That's one of them growing pains. You figure it out,
Yeah. You gotta stop talking all that mess. Don't come crying to me after you get smacked in the mouth by some chick.
Yeah. Girl fights are a different game though. They're brutal. Like, I mean, dudes don't usually like grab each other's hair and poke each other's eyes and stuff. That's a girl thing most of the time.
And girls are monsters. Girls are. I'm sorry, ladies, but y'all are a whole nother creature, man. You fucking savages, man. Like you said, they're scratching, sticking thumbs in eyes, and twisting nipples and shit like that. I'm like,
yeah.
I mean, I was a bouncer for years when I was younger. I'll break up a fight between two dudes right now, or a group of dudes. If they're fighting, I'll jump in the middle, break the fight up. If two girls start going at it, I'm like, I don't want to get scratched. I don't want to get my eyes gouged out. I don't want to get bit by some chick, right? How do you have to take a different, like, how do we break this fight up without getting attacked by this fucking wild tiger that's been set loose in the bar?
Yeah. Or getting fucking sued. You got to be careful about that too.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. We didn't so much worry about that back then. It's not like we broke up a fight and grabbed a girl, and then when a week later, all of a sudden, some detectives showing up because she's claiming that you Me Too'd her, and it's just like, she was fighting in the bar. We had to separate it. You know, I don't know how bouncers do it today without worrying about like, oh man, I got to make sure I don't accidentally graze certain areas. Like, just grab her by the ankles and drag her out. You know, I don't know.
They got female bouncers now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I got to.
It's they are a different creature. That is for sure. You know, and it's like, you know, guys will get into a fight, you break it up, and then 5 minutes later they're cool and they're drinking beer together. Man, girls don't let that shit go. You gotta like just get them out the bar and get them home or something, because you separate them, and then a few minutes later they're going at it again. I'm sure you've seen it playing in the college bar scenes and stuff like that. It's there.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you.
The female fighting happens more in small towns. Did what?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, them country girls. Yeah, they got no fucks to give about anything. I've seen. I went to high school in Ohio. I've seen girls square up on dudes that are 3 times their size, and I'm like, how exactly did this play out in your mind? You know, granted, you know, I'm from a little bit different time, and I think that we still, for the most part, men still live by the don't touch them. Even if a woman hits you, don't hit her back. Blah blah blah. But it is a different time. There's dudes that'll rock a chick if she hits them. So it's just like, how did you exactly think that was going to play out in your mind? You're 5 foot tall, 125 pounds, and he's 6'5", 345 pounds, and you're going to square up on him. Like, his leg is bigger than you at the end of the day. Yeah. How do you think this is gonna work out for you? Yeah. So I want to kind of put you on the spot. I want to kind of call you out. Not really call you out, but put you on the spot. And we were talking a little bit backstage. We were talking a little bit through messaging and stuff like that. And you said, you know, you're most comfortable. I think you're doing a great job talking tonight, so don't worry about that. But you said you're most comfortable with your guitar in your hand singing a song. Mm-hmm. Would you be willing to do, and this will be a first for my show, I've never asked any of my guests this, but would you be willing to do a song live for us on the show?
For sure. For sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll even let you do a dealer's choice, whatever you're feeling.
Okay. I might play Not Like You Care. Yeah. Does that sound good?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll let you get your stuff here. I'll give you a little build-up. Ladies and gentlemen, for our first time ever on Glick's House of Music, one of my guests is going to perform live. He's got his guitar there. He's had it ready. I want to put him in his comfort zone. So we got John Thomas Moore hanging out with us tonight. He's going to do Not Like You Care live for us. I'm actually going to turn my mic off and let you go, man. It's all yours.
Okay. Yeah, this song is a lot of my songs are about similar things. I'll give a short backstory. Living in a small town, rumors spread very fast, especially when like somebody feels like you've crossed them or something. And so I dated this girl for a while, and it ended kind of poorly. And this song is my way of like addressing a lot of rumors that were going around about me, which there are rumors that go around about everybody in a little town like this. But anyway, this is a song called Not Like You Care. It's kind of a breakup song, kind of a victory song, you know. You watched the way I changed. I watched the change on my own. You ain't ever gonna understand the pain you leave and left home. We took for granted all the good things about our love, but now this lonesome feeling's like a chance from up above. Oh, my face is not good. I'm finally getting there. Not like you care. Not like you care. You saw inside my head and it scared you off, I guess. Honey, you couldn't handle that. I'm glad you did not see the rest. I guess that's how it goes. Some things ain't meant to last. Put my pedal down to the floor. You never seen me move so fast. Oh, 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 my face is numb again. Oh, 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 and I feel so good, my friend. I know you think I'm heading nowhere. I just want you to know I'm finally getting there. Not like you care. Not like you care. Not like you. Oh, 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 my face and on again. Oh, oh, and I feel so good, my friend. I know you think I'm heading nowhere. I just want you to know I'm finally getting there. Not like you care. Not like you care.
Hell yeah, man. That was fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Let's set this down.
That was fucking badass, man. I've never had a musician sing live on the show. I love that song, by the way. That's a really it's a kick-ass song. But that was awesome, man. Right there on the spot, you're like, hey, let me grab my guitar real quick. I got this. And you just rocked it out. That's really cool, man. I appreciate that.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
We got a little first for everything tonight, man. Now you first time doing the internet thing, hanging out outside of and nothing wrong with radio stations, but they have their format and they're like, all right, we're gonna ask these same 4 or 5 questions to everybody. Let you do a little song, maybe a song or two, and I know this is a different world for a lot of musicians when they come on here, but that was really cool, man. I appreciate you grabbing the guitar and singing a song live for us here.
Well, I hope it came through good. I'm not 100% sure. I kind of live in the boonies. We got Starlink here, so things have been a little better recently. But sometimes the internet's a little scratchy. So
I kind of live in the city, and we have Spectrum, and Spectrum's internet is trash. So trust me, I feel you on that. But no, it came through good. It sounded good. The audio was solid. The video was solid. So man, hell yeah, that was badass. Oh, I gotta ask you, and I don't know if you got your own place now or whatever, but when you were younger and you were playing and singing or whatever, was your mom and dad ever like, John Thomas, it's 10 o'clock at night. Stop with the damn singing and the guitaring, all right?
Oh yeah, almost every night. They kind of they had to put like a 10 o'clock limit on me playing. So like where I'm at now, I still live on the property of my parents, but we had a pole barn, which that's where I'm at now.
Nice.
I invested some money and like furnished it and got electric out here and air and water, all the expensive shit.
All the essentials.
Yeah, but so back then when I was a kid, I would sneak out my window and drag my guitar out the window and come out here to where I'm at now and hide and fucking probably bother the neighbors, but my parents slept through it most of the time. So
Nice. Yeah, most kids were sneaking out to go to parties and do things that we shouldn't be doing. Not John. He was like, I'm just gonna go to the pole barn and play my guitar and sing some
yeah,
songs.
yeah. Well, I'm too far away from town to go to any parties. I actually tried to sneak off and walk to town one time, but I got like halfway there. I was like, damn, 5 miles is a lot fucking longer than you think. But yeah.
I mean, I grew up in the middle of nowhere. My family had a big chunk of property. We had the quote unquote little, I don't know what you want to call it, man. It wasn't a town. It wasn't a city. It was, I don't even know if it was big enough to be a village. It was a couple miles down the road, and we used to ride there we'd ride our bicycles and jump on our four-wheelers and our dirt bikes or whatever. We had a little camping spot, but we would ride into town. The closest city to us, quote unquote town, whatever you want to call it, was like a half hour. There was no walking.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But we had plenty of friends in the country where my buddy, a friend of mine lived a mile down the road or 2 miles down the road. Is like he's having a party. Oh yeah, I can jump on the four-wheeler. I can ride my bike up there. Whatever. But yeah. But 9 times out of 10, it was just be like, hey, Dad, I'm staying at Tony's tonight. All right, whatever. Yeah, I didn't really. I never snuck out. I can honestly say I never snuck out of the house. I never really had to because my sister was a wild child. I know she snuck out of the house more times than I can count, but I generally be like, hey, I'm going to so-and-so's house. And my parents would be like, all right, whatever. Cause I was somewhat the trustworthy one, but was I necessary? I would start at at said person's house, but I might end up somewhere else by the end of the night. Hell, who knew?
Yeah.
Especially once I got my driver's license and I was driving, but no, that's funny. Man, it's 10 o'clock music curfew. Got to sneak out to the barn.
Yeah, that was me.
That
was me. Yeah,
but look at you now, man. What do your parents think? What do your parents think now about your music career thus far, and you continuing to chase after it? What do your parents think now? Are they super supportive or?
They're extremely supportive. They do have their issues with certain things. Like when I turned 21, I started playing in bars, especially like college bars, and not rough, but relative to a small town, rough places. Like that was where they had their doubts, and like still, it's like a lot of the time, if I'm playing somewhere like particularly wild and they know it, like my mother will be sitting up, like ready to call me whenever I'm supposed to be done. You know what I mean? Like they have their doubts, not in me, but like in the industry and stuff. They don't want me to get screwed over, and they don't, but they're extremely supportive in all the best ways. And I love my parents, and I was really blessed with wonderful parents, and I was lucky enough to take it for what it's worth, but I was lucky enough to grow up in the church, and I not necessarily the best practitioner of that now that I've gotten a little bit older, but I'm extremely grateful for that foundation. My parents are great. I love them.
Nice. That's awesome. That's really cool that they're there for you. And of course, that's just mom being mom. She's gonna worry about you, and she knows like John Thomas said he was going to be done playing at 10 o'clock. It's 10:03 and he hasn't called me yet. Where's he at?
Yeah.
911. I would like to file a missing person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And my parents were very patient because like when I first got out of high school, like especially when COVID was a thing, which COVID's a whole nother fucking deal. That was a big influence. Like that's the reason I had a lot of time to practice and stuff after high school. Yeah. But especially during that, there was a lot of nights where I would, wake up and realize it's 6 a.m. and my phone's been dead, and and just showing up not acting right and stuff. They were very patient with me and you know, that's another thing that I appreciate from them was being so patient.
Yeah, you can always appreciate the patience because, especially as girls do the same thing. But as young men, when we're trying to, we reach a point in our lives where it's like I'm grown, I can do whatever
Mm-hmm.
I want, and we're trying to find ourselves. We're trying to find our identity and who we are and where we're going in life, and it happens very young for us, for the
Mm-hmm.
most part, and you gotta appreciate that patience because yeah, I know I'm not going to always act right. I'm not always going to do the things that you taught me to do, but I'm on this journey. I'm trying to figure this crazy thing called out, or this crazy thing called life out, and figure out which direction I'm going. So yeah, you definitely. That's really cool that they've been super patient and whatnot, and as well as supporting you. Yeah, no
Mm-hmm.
support.
Yeah.
Support and patience goes a long way when
Mm-hmm.
you're a young person trying to figure out what the hell you want to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, yeah, and kind of like you asked, like how they feel about it. You know what I mean? The biggest struggle for them probably, and for me too, like in my own head, is like I bring up the church a lot because that was my life for my young life. You know what I mean? And that's like that's kind of the scariest thing for them is like seeing me like not leave that, but distance myself from that and stuff. And it's a risky ball game, but they I think when I was younger, especially, I was one of those people that like the more they told me to not do something, it would just make me want to do it so much more. And so like I hate to like now they just keep their mouth shut about some things. I hate to say it like that, but it's
Yeah,
kind of true to some degree. Like there's a lot of faith that they have to have, and I know that my mother sits up praying for me a lot. So
oh yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's what moms are good for that. They worry
yes,
they worry a little bit more than they should. They probably send out a few more prayers than need be. Uh, I'm not super religious type, but I mean everybody finds their faith in whatever they find their faith in,
mm-hmm.
and you I think as human beings we need to have that um, something to hold on to, something to
Mm-hmm.
grasp
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot. But I mean, I know when my mom was still here, she'd call me. I'm just worried about you. I'm like, what are you worried about? Like, yeah, I'm
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just living my life. I'm doing things. I'm good. I'm just worried. Are you okay? I'm like, "Well, I'm eating. I still have my job. My bills are paid. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I'm good. you know.
yeah, yeah. That's what love is,
Yeah,
being willing to stress yourself out over somebody other than yourself. That's what love is.
yeah, exactly. I think it's being a parent in general because
Yeah.
Lord knows, especially right now, especially my oldest. I've got three kids, 19, 15, and almost 11. My oldest one, man, she stresses me out more than I need to be, but I get it because I'm worried about her. She's 19. She
Mm-hmm.
just graduated high school, and the real world's about to drop kick her in the face.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
no matter, and you're right at that stage. No matter how much we think we're ready and prepared for the real world, we are not until we walk out that door, and the real world is a bitch, man, and it will
Mm-hmm.
take full advantage of you if you let it. So yeah, I find myself worried and stressed out more than I should be about her, but what are you going to do at the end of the day?
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Cameron?
Cam's one of my best friends. He's like a little brother to me. We uh,
Okay. Cool.
we met when he was like 14 or 15 or something on Call of Duty. I was friends with his older brother, and
Mm.
uh, oh, Amber Alert, hello. But we've been friends now for a little over 10 years, something like that. Time flies. Now he's married and got kids of his own, and he's all grown. And I'm like, I feel old.
Yeah.
I remember when you were in high school getting yelled at that it was time to go to bed and you were up playing video games.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole having kids thing, that is a terrifying aspect of my future that I'm not necessarily ready to face, but I never know when it's going to strike,
So do you want to have kids, or are you kind of like, if it happens, it happens?
I absolutely want to have kids. Right now, like the stage I'm at, not that kids would be a burden necessarily, but like I feel like there's a lot of things that I want to do for myself career wise, and like I'm not, I ain't doing terrible, but I'm not financially where I would want to be when I have kids, and I don't want to be if this music thing was to take off like I'm hoping it would, having like kids, and especially like making my girlfriend into my wife and the mother of my kids, like that would be a lot to dump on her if I'm going to be gone. You know what I mean? So, and it's like, if it happens, great. You know what I mean? You do what you got to do, but I would rather hold off a little while.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Focus on your career, get where you want to be, and when you're ready to settle down, I tell my oldest one that all the time. I'm like, be young. Not that I was 24 when she was born. Not that I have any regrets or anything like that, but be young, live your life, figure out what you're going to do, figure out where you're going, and then when you're a little bit older, settle down and have kids. Find the right guy, and you want to get married, whatever. But experience life a little bit. I was fortunate enough when I was younger. I got to do a lot of the things that I wanted to do when I was younger. And then when she came along, it was like, all right, I'll do the family thing. Get her mom and I got married, and a couple more kids down the road, and just did the family thing. And now the kids are a little bit older, and now it's like, all right, they're older, they're doing their thing. They don't need me for a whole lot. Let me go ahead and start doing this podcasting thing. It's something I've always wanted to do. It's I've always wanted to be on the radio. So let me start. Now that I've gotten them to the point where they're at, I still play that, still do the dad thing and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But now I've reached a point where it's like, all right, let me start chasing my dream, see where it goes, So I totally get that. There's nothing wrong with that, wanting to wait and wanting to see where the music thing goes. And like I said, I told you earlier when we first started, you never know. I mean, that one song gets in the right ears, and the next thing you know, you're fucking skyrocketing into the top. And that's the last thing you want to be, is like a quote unquote absentee dad. Watch your kids grow up through photographs or videos. You want to be around for those little moments when they take their steps, or they say their first words, or as silly as it sounds, when they eat their first real food and they're not eating baby food anymore. They eat real food. Little things like that. You don't want to watch on camera. You want to be there in person for it. So it's a good way of thinking. A lot of people they rush into things so fast. The younger generation, like yourself, they're so quick to rush into things, and it's like, are you really ready for this? Because I don't think you realize how much goes into marriage and kids and everything like that. And then we have the failed marriages and baby mama drama and deadbeat dads and all that crap. And it's just like, oh my God, you could have saved yourself so much pain and heartache and struggle if you'd have just waited. But we don't listen to people we don't listen to the older people. I remember when
no. And
who am I to take advice from somebody who's lived life? I know what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. That's pretty much, that statement right there is like the summary of my entire like adolescence. And I feel like that's the case with most people. You know what I mean? You think that fucking everything, but I'm not very old, but I've already figured out that I don't know anywhere near as much as I thought that I knew.
that's your upbringing. That's your upbringing, and the people around you that have helped with your upbringing, and it speaks volumes. Not only that, but the people you choose to be friends with, uh, or you associate with it. It gets that little voice inside your head going, you know, maybe I should hit the pause button here, call a timeout, and think about this for a second. So
Yeah.
I can appreciate that, especially from a young guy.
Yeah.
How long, if you don't mind me asking, how long have you and your lady been together?
About a year and a half. About a year and a half. A little over a year and a half now. But, I really like her. I love her. We're from similar backgrounds. Like she grew up in the part of the county that my family is originally from. So she's in all the best ways, she is everything that like I spent my entire youth like thinking like, man, it'd be really cool to find a girl that's like that.
Yeah.
And then she showed up, and it was fucking awesome. Like being able to sit down and have a conversation with a girl and it not be like just like being impatient and I don't want this to come off as sexist or whatever, but like being a young dude, like it's hard to sit and have a conversation with a girl because like especially when you're like 16, 17, you got so many hormones that like it's hard to like see a woman as the person that she is a lot of the time. But meeting her and like she's fucking a lot smarter than me about a lot of things, you know what I mean? So like she's a very wise person, and that's something that I had always looked for. And finding that it really like gave me some perspective of like how great a woman can be in your life. I didn't think when I was young that I would ever find that, but I found that while I was pretty young. And I mean, I don't know what the future holds, but as far as I can tell, she's the better half.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's nice when you find that you have that connection, and you're able to just be yourself when she's around, and like you said, you guys can have the conversations and talk about things, and I'm sure she's supportive of your music. So it's nice to have that connection. And I hate to break it to you, but all women are always going to be smarter than us. It's just
yeah, damn straight. Yeah.
Like my fiance, she's got 2 or 3 college degrees, and I'm just a dummy who builds things.
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm just a big dumb animal over here, and she's super smart. And I'm like, oh, I tied my shoes today.
Yeah, well, so we get to have that fantasy that like if the world ends, we can fight bears and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
We get to have that.
Yeah, the zombie apocalypse breaks out tomorrow. I got you. I can fight
exactly.
off.
Yeah.
What's going on, Arliss?
What's going on, brother? Arliss, I fucking love that name. This is the only person named Arliss that I've ever met in person. But in the old Yeller movie, there's the kid is named Arliss, and I've always been like, damn, that's a really fucking cool name. I like that. So hell yeah, Arliss.
Arliss is the lead singer of the Southern Outlaws band. So he's got that.
Like, hell yeah!
Perfect name for Southern rock. Arliss Walker, he was destined to be a Southern rock star.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Former guest of the show. Hopefully, we'll be seeing them here real soon. At the end of August. But man, it's great when you find that connection, and I think a lot of times in relationships, it doesn't matter how young or old you are. I think a lot of times in relationships we find ourselves playing a role when we're with our significant other. It's nice when you can take off the mask and just be yourself and truly connect and talk about anything and everything. You know, that's a rare thing to find today. So when you find it, that's something to hold on to and enjoy and whatnot. I am drinking water.
Oh, are you?
I am a lame-o there, Rip Dog. I'm drinking water. I don't know. I'm battling through a stomach thing tonight. I don't know what's going on. My stomach's been bothering me all day, so I'm like battling through a stomach thing. So I'm drinking a little water, and got like cold sweats going on right now, but I'm powering. I'm trying to power through. But yeah, I'm just drinking water tonight. I've been drinking a lot of water lately. I think I might be my body's rejecting the water because it's like, where's the pop and where's the beer? No, yes and no. Kind of, sort of. I'm cutting back. I'm cutting back a lot.
Respect, dude. Respect.
I was, I host 4 shows a week, and I wasn't drinking heavy. Saturday nights I do have a tendency to drink a lot more. But during the week I would drink 6 to 10 beers on a podcast, and then on Saturday nights I just really cut loose. But the last couple of weeks I've been cutting back. I try to drink on Saturdays only. Last Saturday I don't think I drank last Saturday, to be honest with you. I think I was drinking water all last Saturday night too. So yeah, I'm not battling an addiction or anything like that. I just cutting back a little bit. I'm it's expensive to drink as much as I do. So hi Suze, what are you doing? But yeah, like I said, I've been fighting the stomach thing since this afternoon. And it's like, yeah, I am not even going to tempt fate and drink anything tonight. I'm just going to drink water and get through the show. But yeah, man. I mean, you sound like you got your head on straight, man. You're doing your thing. You're writing good songs. You kind of you've got I don't want to say you got blinders on because it doesn't seem like you got blinders on, but you're heading down the right direction and the right road to do what you want to do, and you might be the next Kentucky boy to do Kentucky proud.
Well, I hope so. I don't want to say I got my head on straight because I definitely don't.
Well, you portray it very well.
I hope so. I try to keep a little bit of my father in me, keep a little bit of a, Kentucky Colonel, Southern gentleman thing going on. But a lot of the time it's a facade. But, a lot of the time it's a facade.
Yeah. Sometimes you gotta have a little bit of mystery. You gotta have something about you. But like I said, you portray like you know what you want, you know what you're chasing after and what you're doing, and that's really cool. Especially being so young. Because when I was 22, I had no idea what the fuck. I didn't know if I was coming or going most days. I didn't know what was going on at 22.
Yeah, I wake up and I'm lucky if I can put my pants on the right direction. You know what I mean?
That don't ever change. I'm almost 43 and I still have to. There's been days. Granted, I also get dressed in the dark because I don't want to turn the light on and bother my fiance. But there's been days I've gotten to work and my undershirt's on backwards, and I'm like, why is it so uncomfortable? Or wear one of my button ups to work that it's like it's all crooked and shit, and I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, well, that's how you know you're doing life right. You're putting forth 100%.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you don't run into little issues like that every once in a while, you need to find something else to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't want to cut you short. But it was great having you on the show. It was great talking to you. I'd love to have you back again down the road. I'm actually going to be putting something together I don't know. I gotta whenever I don't have an interview, I'm gonna put something together, kind of an appreciation show for all my guests so far. And I'm gonna reach out to everybody and see if they could pop in just for a few minutes. They don't have to stay the whole time. They can stay as long as they want. But I want to put something together where basically I'm just doing a show where I'm playing everybody's music for the night. But no, I would love to have you come back again and sit down and hang out and chit chat with you. One of the other things I would like to do is a panel of guests with former guests and have everybody kind of come together and meet each other and all of us hang out. I'm going to play one more song. I was going to ask you if you could stick out or hang out through it. And before we take off, just leave somebody, if there's a quote that you really like or something like an inspirational thought or something like that, if you just want to leave everybody with that before we take off for the night.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be really cool. I'm going to play, this is another song that I really like. I appreciate it, Rip Dog. I'm hoping so. But I really like this song too. And I just want to ask you, I like the little backstories that you give. Coming Up. This is another one that I really like.
Oh, Lord.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you want to know the backstory for it, I guess?
Yeah. Is your grandma gonna get mad if you tell us the backstory to it?
No. She ain't gonna listen to this. It's it's about kind of being ashamed of yourself, I guess. But it's I like to get tore up, every once in a while. Yeah, I like to get wild. It's kind of about that, and it's kind of I'm at a very beginner stage of this music industry thing, but like playing places and like hanging out with people that do music, you find yourself like in situations where you're getting offered things you shouldn't be doing, or you're having too much fun. You know what I mean? And like that has its ups, and it definitely has its downs. But that song's kind of about the ups and downs of that, and about accepting yourself throughout that, even though you wish you could do better. You know what I mean? Yeah, that song's about getting wild.
Nice. Well, here's Coming Up, John Thomas Moore.
Still holding on to washed up, selling my soul for a fucked up world. It's only gonna bring me down. Yeah, I don't wanna get stuck, I don't wanna get stoned, I don't wanna get drunk and drive myself home. But here I am, being your man, honey, take my hand, 'cause I'm coming up again. Oh yeah, I'm coming up again. Oh yeah, I'm coming up again. I'm coming up again.
Let's fucking go, baby. That's a killer song right there.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
No, I do appreciate you being here tonight. I appreciate you coming on the show, man. It means a lot. I know you said you appreciate it, and it means just as much to me that you were willing to come up here and hang out with me, as it might mean to you for the fact that I sent you the invite and said, "Hey, man, you want to come up and hang out?" Because we're both in the same boat, man. We're both just coming up. We're both trying to find our place, and hopefully one day get big and be able to make a living off of what we do, what we love to do. This is my happy place. This is one of my favorite places to be, is in front of the camera, behind the microphone, just chit chatting back and forth with people.
Yes.
So I definitely do appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. As I ask, is there anything that is there a quote or anything like that really just rings in your head that you would like to share with everybody before we take off?
One thing, I don't remember who the quote's from. It might be Waylon Jennings. I don't know. It's something that my brother and my father tend to say a lot, which it might seem out of context. But in an ever-changing world, the bravest thing that a man can do is embrace tradition, which, might mean something to somebody, might not mean anything to other people. But it's rang true for me in a lot of ways, whether I listen to it or not. But
Absolutely. What's up, Brittany? Absolutely, man. I think that's actually a pretty powerful quote. Sounds like some way. Guys, like I always tell y'all, man, follow your dreams, chase your dreams, do what makes you happy. You're never too old. You're never too young. Find your place in life. Just do what you do. And there's an old saying that says, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
Yes, sir.
With that being said, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for hanging out. I will not be live next Friday. I'm going to take next Friday off. It's my fiance's, as the listening audience, most of you guys know Nikki. You've seen Nikki. It is her birthday next Friday, so I won't be doing anything next Friday, but listen to the rest of the shows on the network. I'll be back tomorrow night on Nonsensical Nonsense. Go ahead and give us a follow. We are everywhere: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and X. Live shows Monday through Sunday on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. And you can listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts at, all at the Nonsensical Network, or simply go to bio.link/Nonsensical Network. I almost messed that up. Nonsensical Network. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you then. Now we get this like